Here you got women who are like really feminine and friendly, and it's like it's an exchange of value, definitely. But it's like, you know, both people are usually end up satisfied. They get what they want. I guess where I come from, there's a lot of people not getting what they want. Yeah, man, perfect, great.
All right, guys, so that clip you just saw is me living over here in Asia. I've been over here for 12 years. That's what your life can look like when you actually step foot overseas, rather than spending so much time researching and looking at terrible, scary stories of what could happen to you if things go badly overseas. So there are lots of guys who are really attracted to negativity and scary stories. They spend time looking at the bad events that happen to some people when they go overseas. You know, there's an endless amount of YouTube videos, posts on different forums like Reddit, etc., about horror stories, things that went badly for some guys who went over to a foreign country. And you know how it goes, like one scary video becomes 40. Well, one video talks about how Asia is dangerous, Thailand is overflooded with foreigners. I teach English, so I have people tell me, man, English teaching is dead, man. Even though there are millions of schools on this planet where you can teach English, man, English teaching is done, man. Nobody can get a job. There's all kind of crazy stuff you can see on the internet with people who are telling you the end of the world is happening, all the opportunities are gone, life is terrible. There's an endless amount of content you can find related to that. And before you know it, you're tricking your brain into thinking that doing something like going overseas or simply just taking a trip overseas is like a high risk thing that you got to be extra careful about because your life could be ruined with one false move. So first of all, guys, let's make one thing clear. Peace and prosperity does not get attention and views on the internet. Like if I make a video titled like everything is fine, everything is great, that's probably gonna get less video views compared to if I make a video titled, man, everything is terrible, I got screwed over, man, this bar girl took my money, life overseas is not what they tell it you to be, like they think it's all perfect, but they're lying to you. If I make that kind of video, it's gonna get a lot more views than a happy video. And that's just kind of how the internet algorithm works. Like all the way from, you know, Instagram videos to like different blogs on the internet, Reddit posts, negativity sells, and that's what people want to click on. So if you make a post that's really negative, that points out the bad things or the possible bad things about something, that's going to get a lot more attention than positive information. And also a lot of these guys on the internet, they have an ego, so if something bad happens to them overseas, they're not going to take accountability and say, hey, I made some mistakes, you know, maybe I could have made some better decisions. They're going to say, no, this country is bad, the people is bad, that foreign woman that I met, they're all terrible, man. By the way, if you've been poisoning your mind with negative stuff on the internet that's scaring you about going overseas, I offer a free 15-minute get overseas strategy call. We can map out your playbook for how you can get overseas. I recommend doing English teaching. I've been doing it for 12 years. It's the fastest way for us Americans to get overseas making money, and you can make consistent income. It's a very stable field. So yeah, we can map out your strategy plan. So click the link in the pinned comment or the description and let's set up a call. So one thing a lot of guys do, like when they're trying to research going overseas, they start looking at reasons to not go. Like for some reason, a lot of us are really attracted to negativity and we're like, oh man, it's too good to be true, man. Let me see what's actually going on here. Oh, this guy being negative. A lot of us falsely believe that if someone's being negative, that means that they're telling the truth. So then they get infected by these ideas, like people tell them like, this country's dead, man, don't go here, like they're gonna treat you terribly, or the opportunities in this country or just outside of America is gone, it's dangerous. Like I said, with English teaching, I have people all the time, like people who don't have any teaching experience, who don't have passports, who haven't been overseas, but they did research, they look at some negative posts, they're like, man, I can't get a job with English teaching is done. They get attracted to all kind of negativity. All it does is reflect their fears back to them, and it gives them an excuse for why they should not go overseas. But the fact is, for the vast majority of guys, when they land overseas, they don't feel fear, they feel relief, because they see like, hey, overseas isn't actually as bad as the people on the internet made me think. Like, I actually feel a lot better over here than I do in my own country. So we got this Stoic philosopher named Plato. He had this famous allegory called the allegory of the cave. So basically think about it like this. Some people are trapped in a cave, right? The cave might be like the Western American matrix that a lot of guys are stuck in. They don't know how to escape. And they see shadows on the wall. The shadows on the wall are kind of like the YouTube videos, the negative comments, the Reddit posts telling them about how terrible the outside world is, right? So these guys are inside the cave and all they can see is the shadows on the wall. And the outside of the cave is the sunlight, right? The sunlight is basically what we call geographic arbitrage. You go over to a different country, you make more money relative to your cost of living, so you're living very comfortably. You have really good options for living overseas, a very peaceful life. That's the sunlight outside the cave. Now, if you go outside the cave into the sunlight and you experience all that stuff, but then you go back into the cave, you try to tell the guys, hey man, the sunlight out there, man, there's more to life than these shadows, these negative things we got on the wall. The people in the cave might not believe you because they've been stuck in the cave their entire life and all they see is the negative shadows on the wall. They're afraid to go outside and see like, hey, actually the world is a lot bigger than I thought it was. There's a lot of positive things out here that I can do with my life. So the fact is, like, this overseas lifestyle, like living a happy, comfortable life overseas, it's not as rare as the people on the internet, you know, the doomsdayers, the people who claim that overseas isn't that great. A happy life overseas is not as rare as those people would have you believe. So the fact is that the guy who's having a great time overseas, like the guy who found an amazing apartment, is making great money overseas, maybe he does English teaching or something like that, he's found a girlfriend, he might not be on the internet writing posts about the country and talking about how great his life is. Or if he is, it's probably not going to get as much attention as a guy who's telling you that overseas is really bad and you got to be careful because there's danger around every corner. But the fact is that once you get overseas, you know, you meet like a lot of opportunities that you don't know about in the States. So you guys in the States who are looking at travel videos, looking at life overseas, you're seeing maybe 20% of the possible opportunities out there. There's a full 80% that a lot of you guys don't even know about that can be available to you once you actually land overseas. So what's the best way to get overseas to see the opportunity for yourself? I highly recommend English teaching. English teaching is the fastest way for us Americans to get overseas, making money, making consistent money. There are tons of job opportunities, especially in South America, Asia, and you can live a very comfortable life. Like for me, I've been doing it for over 12 years. I've done in-person teaching and now I'm 100% online. I highly recommend both because just by doing both and getting overseas, you'll be living a much higher lifestyle than you would in the States. So for example, like I think teaching English in person is great, especially if you're in a country that you really enjoy, you're not really working that much, your job is pretty stress-free. There are tons of opportunities like that. And with online teaching, you have just even more flexibility to go wherever you want, whenever you want. So I think both options are great for us Americans. And if you're interested in finding out the opportunities available with English teaching, I offer a free 15-minute call. Click the link in the pinned comment and description. I got a free 15-minute get overseas strategy call. We can map out your escape plan. You know, in as little as 30 days, you can be overseas making money. I typically help guys plan out their escape from America because escaping from the American matrix can be very difficult, especially with all the fear and disinformation out there. So if you want to use me as a resource, get on a free call with me and we can map out your plan. I've been living overseas for a while. I have all types of YouTube content, all type of videos that I don't release publicly. I have a private YouTube membership on this channel called the Baht Bros Club. You click the join button under this video, you'll be taken to the members only area. You see all kind of exclusive videos about how to make money remotely, job opportunities, overseas lifestyle, all kind of information that's useful for you guys who really want to take this overseas lifestyle and take it to a higher level. So yeah, hopefully you guys got value from this video. I've been overseas for a long time. I have no plans on going back to America. Life overseas is just too good. I can never imagine going back to the States. And yeah, I just want to show you guys that this life isn't rare. You can do it too. So yeah, see you in the next video.